Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Monday, January 19th. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. An Ephrata man is dead and a fellow driver charged with DUI and vehicular homicide after two pickup trucks collided head-on Sunday northeast of George. A commercial semi-truck driver is now charged with DUI after allegedly smashing his Freightliner into a State Department of Transportation snowplow. That happened on Interstate 90 near Kittitas. Hopefully, this persistent low cloud deck and fog will lift by tomorrow afternoon. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. All 5 nominated individuals and organizations nominated for Uplift Awards this year were honored during the Martin Luther King Jr. Multicultural Fest on Saturday. The awards recognize individuals, groups, or organizations in the Wenatchee Valley that protect civil rights, promote social justice, or advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. The ceremony is held annually at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. City of Wenatchee Parks Director David Erickson, former Wenatchee School District Board member Martin Barron, and civil rights investigator Wilma Cartagena were among the individual recipients for their work over the past year. The 2 awarded organizations were Hand in Hand Immigration Services and North Central Washington Libraries. An Ephrata man is dead and a fellow driver charged with DUI and vehicular homicide after 2 pickup trucks collided head-on Sunday northeast of George. The Washington State Patrol says 53-year-old Alejandro Cartagena was pronounced dead at the scene on Highway 283, 7 miles outside the town. The crash happened about 5:45 p.m. when 39-year-old Gerardo Silva Diaz of Quincy allegedly veered across the center line while traveling south. He survived the crash and was taken to Quincy Valley Hospital for treatment. Troopers say there's evidence Silva Diaz was driving under the influence. Douglas County authorities say they've now located and charged all 3 men suspected of a November 29th home invasion and assault in East Wenatchee. 20-year-old Christian Adame Ibarra was the first apprehended, accused of forcing his way into a home with 2 accomplices and aiming a handgun at a victim. One of the intruders also pushed a 90-year-old to the ground during the incident. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies identified 19-year-old Enrique Torres of East Wenatchee and 21-year-old Jordan Ponce as the 2 other men involved in the case. Both were charged in December with complicity to burglary and assault. Police say the case was a domestic violence incident, with Adame seeking to confront his former girlfriend and her current partner. He faces trial next month in Douglas County Court on assault and burglary charges. The Chelan Public Library's Reimagining Spaces project is temporarily halted after construction crews found water damage in the almost 100-year-old building. North Central Washington Library says it's working with the city of Chelan to assess the issue and move forward with a plan that protects the historic structure on North Emerson Street. The Chelan Library is continuing to offer limited open hours during the pause in its remodeling, including a pop-up library on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and library access hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The Reimagining Spaces project is a $10 million project to redesign all 29 locations within the North Central Washington Library system. The Chelan Library was closed in October to begin its interior refresh, which will include new paint, updated shelving, new furniture, and more. When we come back, Douglas County is catching up to its neighbor Chelan County when it comes to collecting household hazardous waste. Despite firefighters' efforts, a Saturday structure fire in Grand Coulee destroyed a mobile home, and a commercial semi-truck driver is now charged with DUI after allegedly smashing his Freightliner into a State Department of Transportation snowplow on I-90 near Kittitas. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Douglas County is catching up to its neighbor Chelan County when it comes to collecting household hazardous waste. The Zacher Processing Center on Batterman Road outside East Wenatchee is set to fully open in mid-February. It's operating right now with limited hours, and East Wenatchee officials got a tour of the center earlier this month. The facility can accept materials that aren't normally approved for curbside disposal, like fluorescent bulbs, medical sharps, and paint, as well as recyclable goods like aluminum, tin, and cardboard. Chelan County has operated its own household hazardous waste drop-off point since 2019. A Saturday structure fire in Grand Coulee destroyed a mobile home despite firefighters' efforts. The Grand Coulee Fire Department says it happened about 11 p.m. at a house in the 1800 block of Highway 174 north of the city. When crews arrived, the vacated mobile home was fully involved. No one was hurt, although firefighters worked until about 2 o'clock Sunday morning to extinguish hot spots. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A commercial semi-truck driver is now charged with DUI after allegedly smashing his Freightliner into a State Department of Transportation snowplow on Interstate 90 near Kittitas. The Washington State Patrol is citing the semi-operator, a 29-year-old man from Illinois, with driving under the influence and endangering a roadway worker. Police and the DOT say both the semi was eastbound on I-90 6 miles east of Ellensburg when it rear-ended the snowplow, which was applying a de-icing compound to the roadway. The plow was flipped into the median. Its driver suffered minor injuries. The DOT called the crash inexcusable and asked drivers to avoid passing or crowding snowplows when they're operating on the highway. Coming up next, after a month of repairs, construction crews have made progress along the Tumwater Canyon stretch of Highway 2. We will bring you an update on the work in tonight's feature story. More clouds and fog into tonight and into tomorrow afternoon. I'll have your local weather details coming up, followed by Eric Granstrom with all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCWLIFE channel has you covered. Follow the Eastmont Wildcats and Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Valley Tractor. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
After a month of repairs, construction crews have made progress along the Tumwater Canyon stretch of Highway 2. Washington Department of Transportation officials say damage spans roughly 10 miles where flooding on December 10th and 11th eroded the riverbanks beneath the roadway, causing full and partial washouts. Jacob Cunnington, the department's transportation engineer, says construction is focused on rebuilding the road from the ground up at the most severely damaged sites. In Tumwater Canyon, that means excavating down to the river, placing 6 to 8 foot boulders at the base of the slope, and rebuilding the foundation layer by layer before the road can be restored. In tonight's feature story, during a tour of Tumwater Canyon last week, NCWLIFE News spoke to Cunnington and project engineer Miguel Castillo about the next steps in those repairs.
This damage was caused by water capacity coming through the river. That atmospheric river that we had really added a lot of volume to the river, which eroded away the banks.
I mean, it was a perfect storm. I mean, we had a lot of water. We had the water level rise up on us, and like Jake was saying, is that the conditions were perfect for this event. I mean, when that water level reached the height that it got behind the rocks that were down below and started to migrate towards the road where you have a lot looser material, that's when it started to happen. That's where that smaller material just floated down the river and didn't give anything for the road vertically to stand, and then horizontally the river just kept chewing into the road, and that's why you see behind us, that's why it's so chewed into the hillside here.
So there's been some minor additions to the slides that happened initially, but for the most part, the conditions have remained the same. So there is some risk of avalanche. We've had some pretty warm weather, but right now the big concern is the freeze-thaw cycle, loosening up some of the existing rocks in the slopes here.
And then the next piece will be the snow. The more snow we get, then because we are in active avalanche chutes, so that'll be another thing we'll have to look at or be aware of while we're working.
So on large slides like this one, the process is to dig down to the water so that we can slowly build up layer by layer with large boulders. We've completed that to get outside of the high water mark, and now the next phase of the project is building up structure to the roadway level. Yeah, that timeline's still accurate. Our contractor's working really hard and they're moving really fast. I'm hopeful that we can get it done before then, but that timeline is still our mark.
And that's why you see that large piece of equipment there, just to move more material. We bring it in with the smaller trucks and we place it somewhere we can put it in that truck there and move a lot. That can keep up with several trucks transporting material into the site.
So what we're doing here is a lot more robust than anything we've had before. So we're hopeful that it will stay a lot longer. But we are building the roadway back as it was, just reinforcing our structure below. Hopefully they shouldn't notice too much. If you have a keen eye, you'll be able to see some new rock slopes with some of our geotechnical additions. But to the roadway itself, there shouldn't be any difference.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And boy, that low cloud deck, once again, it's out there again this afternoon. It was here all weekend long and it persisted right into. In fact, today, by the way, is the 6th straight day that we have been dealing with this. And look at this shot. This is our Billy Goat camera up in Okanagan County, and there is nowhere to escape that low cloud deck up there. But look above that, just beautiful blue sky. And if you head up to Mission Ridge or higher elevations, that's what you saw today. The reason, that's pesky area of high pressure that's been over southeastern Washington for the last 5 or 6 days. It just won't move away. Light winds isn't helping the situation. Low stratus clouds and fog and sunshine up in the mountain locations. Temperatures cooler than we thought they would be, mainly because of the clouds, right about normal for this time of year. Today, we were below normal. In fact, our low temperature was 30, high temperature 31. We have been around the 30-degree mark going back to 7 o'clock last night. Temperatures just haven't changed. 34 is our normal high for this time of year, and 49 our record high, and that was set in 1994. 24 our normal low temperature, and 1 below our record set back in 1962. Sunrise this morning, 20 minutes to 8, and sunset at 4:43. All right, taking a look at what we can expect getting into Tuesday. Temperatures will begin a slow warm up if we get rid of that cloud deck tomorrow afternoon. Weather Service says we should get rid of that tomorrow. We'll see 38s for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 38 in Quincy, Ellensburg, Wenatchee, Entiat. Just a little bit warmer for Chelan and Omak. Not quite as many clouds, even though that Billy Goat camera didn't show that. 37 for Kashmir and 35 the high temperature tomorrow in Lake Wenatchee. Tonight, once again, that area of high pressure that's been in southeast Washington will slide down into the Great Plateau area around Utah, southern Idaho. We will see low clouds tonight. It will get a little bit chilly too, with lows in the mid-20s. For Tuesday, this is what we're shooting for in the afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. If we do see that, we will warm up into the upper 30s for your Tuesday afternoon. By midweek Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. Another area of high pressure from the Pacific is starting to move our way. We will see this cold air begin to erode away as we make our way through the week. Partly cloudy skies on Thursday with high pressure. There it is off the coast of Northern California. Just a wisp of clouds through our area on Thursday. Quiet weather with high temperatures about 40 degrees for Thursday. And then getting you into the end of the week on Friday, boy, not much of a change. Just quiet weather, and look at all of the clear skies. We're hoping for that by the time we get to Friday. High temperatures around 40 degrees once again. And then for your upcoming weekend on Saturday, partly cloudy. High pressure still out in the Pacific, but not as strong as it was earlier in the week. We will see just a slight cool down for Saturday with high temperatures in those upper 30s. And then by the end of the forecast on Sunday, mostly cloudy skies. It's mainly because of an area of low pressure in Canada that will drag some clouds through our state on Sunday. Not much change in temperature, though, with Sunday's highs into the upper 30s. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast now, and it's brought to you by Colonial Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. Cool one overnight tonight, 26 degrees. Mostly sunny then for Tuesday and Wednesday. We are really hoping that happens. 38 tomorrow, 39 on Wednesday. A few more clouds on Thursday. Really not a bad day with the highs around 30, and then sunny and nice as we end the work week on Friday with the high of 40, and then some clouds roll in for Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the upper 30s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Well, a good Monday to you. The Seahawks boat raced San Francisco Saturday to advance to the NFC Championship with a 41-6 victory. Rashid Shaheed took the opening kickoff back for a 95-yard touchdown return, and the route was on. Kenneth Walker III tied a franchise record by scoring 3 touchdowns in a playoff game, while the defense held Brock Purdy and the Niners to 2 field goals. Mike McDonald certainly happy afterwards.
In terms of our team, I mean, it's probably the most complimentary game we've played up to this point. Obviously starting the game out with the kickoff return for a touchdown was tremendous. Again, excited to see the blocks on that play, but a great return by Rashid, and then just, kept stacking plays. The takeaways on defense, kept playing. The quarterback's a hard guy to contain, and he makes plays, and so, you can't get frustrated. You got to keep playing. And then offensively, being able to control the ball never being in jeopardy, being able to run it, scoring in the red zone, all those things we've been trying to do finally coming to life, and you just keep stacking those things, and it was a heck of a win, man. And it's funny, in the locker room, it's like, we're really excited, we're very proud of the effort, but the guys understand that there's still a mission at hand, and we got another week coming up here that we need to take care of business every day, so that's the focus.
Seahawks players from top to bottom were happy, but also saying the job's not done.
First and foremost, it means a lot. We worked at it, all season. We seen it's paying off, and I just got to give the credit to the O-line. They had the holes there, and all I had to do was hit it.
This defense is amazing. It's fun to play with them. Mike has this slogan, loose and focus, that he's been, instilling in this team since day one he got here. And I think that's really what has allowed this team to play so free, play so fast. And I think we just believe in one another.
Yeah, it just showed how prepared we are to come out and dominate. That was our mindset throughout the whole week. It's our mindset each and every game. And that's exactly what we came out to do. And started with special teams and kind of carried throughout the rest of the game.
A good team win. Really good team win from the first snap. The kickoff, that guy taking it to the house, man, that was special. To hear that stadium too, rocking the way Lemon was tonight. Unbelievable, man. The 12s came out.
Oh, man, just, see them slide down the sideline, defense grabbing their helmets on, we was ready to go out there and get the ball again. So, it's just a testament to, the camaraderie that we don't build here in Seattle. And, man, we just going to keep playing Seahawks football.
That's complimentary football at its finest. Open the game up with a kickoff return. Defense goes out there, is doing a great job getting stops, gives us field position. Offense goes down. You'd love to be able to finish in the red zone in that situation, but just being able to play off each other, man. Just keep the energy moving forward, keep the ball moving forward.
To be off 2 weeks, start the game off like that in front of 70-some thousand people, that's a great way to start. Gave us a boost, but it also just confirmed what we knew. Let's go out here and play our game, and this will happen often.
Seattle will host the NFC Championship game Sunday at Lumen Field. That'll kick off at 3:30. The Hawks will host the Rams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl after LA survived another miraculous Chicago comeback to force overtime and win it 20-17. Bo Nix broke his ankle on the next to the last play in overtime Saturday as Denver beat Buffalo 33-30. Backup Jarrett Stidham will make his only 4th NFL start in the AFC Championship game. They'll face the New England Patriots, who advanced with a 28-16 win over Houston. So here's the schedule for the conference championships coming up on Sunday. Patriots travel to Denver at noon on CBS. Hawks will host the Rams Sunday at 3:30. That will be on Fox. Well, the college football season comes to an end tonight in the CFP National Championship presented by AT&T. You got to get those sponsors in there. Number 10, Miami takes on number 1, Indiana at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. That game on the TV right now on the ESPN and ESPN2 and ESPN9 and ESPN 30. It's all over the place. After a 1-3-1 road trip, the Kraken are back home in Seattle today. Seattle wrapped up the trip in Salt Lake Saturday, falling to the Mammoths 6-3. Philip Grubauer gave up 5 goals, while Jordan Eberle, Matty Beniers, and Chandler Tyler Stevenson tallied goals for the Kraken. They had a matinee against Pittsburgh earlier at Climate Pledge Arena. We'll have the score and highlights coming up tomorrow morning here on the NCW Life channel. Eastern Washington and Gonzaga picked up men's basketball wins over the weekend. Eagles beat Idaho State 84-66, while the 9th-ranked Bulldogs down Seattle University 71-50. Washington dropped an 80-63 decision to 12th-ranked Michigan State. Gonzaga women also victorious Saturday, downing visiting San Diego 87-42. Eastern fell to Idaho State 66-57. San Francisco beat Washington State in Pullman 85-72. On Sunday, Washington beat Minnesota 67-54. NWAC basketball Saturday, both Wenatchee Valley men's and women's and Big Bend didn't go so well. Walla Walla beat the Knight men 68-61. Women fell 80-70. Vikings fell to Big Bend, or make that Columbia Basin 65-55 on the men's side, 58-54 on the women's side. Prep girls basketball action on Friday. Davis throttled Moses Lake. Sunnyside was 28 better than Eastmont. West Valley beat Wenatchee. Selah squashed Quincy. Grandview beat Ephrata. Cashmere cleared Connell 43-35. Manson beat Bridgeport 57-49. Lake Roosevelt topped Okanagan by 24. Pateros beat Oroville by 57 points. Wilson Creek edged Antioch 40-39. Welpinett topped Moses Lake Christian 61-52. Lynn Ritzville Sprague down Waterville Mansfield in the Battle of the Dashes 46-37. Moses Lake boys beat Davis 90-75 Friday. Eastmont fell to Sunnyside 55-41. West Valley down Wenatchee 87-53. Selah beat Quincy while Grandview down to Ephrata. Cashmere edged Connell. Bridgeport beat Manson. Okanagan topped Lake Roosevelt. Lynn Ritzville Sprague took down Waterville Mansfield on the boys side 57-36. Wilson Creek edged Antioch. Moses Lake Christian beat Welpinett by 12 points. Well, Eastmont and Wenatchee swapped lead changes throughout the majority of three quarters before the Wildcat ladies took over and went on for a 55-47 win on Saturday. Afterwards, Grant caught up with Noli Johnson, the player of the game.
Unofficially, 19 points. Noli, great game.
Thank you, thank you.
And you know, you guys, it was a tight game the first two quarters. You guys pulled away a little bit in the third. What did you see in the second half that was working for you that wasn't so much in the first half?
I mean, I think we picked up our defensive pressure. We knew that in the first half our shots weren't necessarily falling our way, and so we talked in the locker room, and what knew we were going to get us back in that game was our defense. So we came out with the mentality of they're not going to score on us, you know. So we picked up our pressure, we stole the ball, and that's where we got our momentum, and we went from there.
Another action on Saturday. Othello edged Quincy. Brewster beat Cashmere. Omak topped Liberty Bell. Nooksack Valley down Cascade. Lakeside 9 Mile Falls topped Lake Roosevelt by 18. Okanagan edged Warden by a bucket. Tonasket topped Manson. Waterville Mansfield stopped Soap Lake 53-17. Turning to boys basketball Saturday, Eastmont got out to an early lead, but it was all Wenatchee after that. Panthers beat the Wildcats 72-58. Ryder Ray led all players with 25 points and visited with Grant afterwards.
Great effort tonight, Ryder.
Thank you. It feels really good. I got to give it to all my teammates and coaches for giving me confidence to play, and I owe it all to them.
And it looked like early on we could see that your goal was trying to pound it down low. You had a size advantage, and you used that to your advantage tonight, didn't you?
Yep. You know, our game plan was get inside, kick out, get Travis on a heater. You know, I got to give it to my team again. Like, I couldn't do it without them.
Other play on Saturday, Quincy beat Othello 77-52. Cashmere topped Brewster. Lakeside was 15 better than Lake Roosevelt. Liberty Bell beat Omak by 41. Okanagan whipped up on Warden. Tonasket topped Manson. Waterville Mansfield stopped Soap Lake 50-32. That's Check Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for this Monday edition of the NCW Life Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
What do you think of that? pretty big. I like it.
Watch for new episodes of the Northwest Outdoorsman on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.